Right now, a bill to overturn a 20-year ban on mining near the Boundary Waters is waiting on a vote from the United States Senate. The House yesterday passed that vote. The resolution, introduced by Minnesota Representative Pete Stauber, opens the door for mining in the watershed that flows into the BWCA. Here's Ian Russell.
Even hundreds of miles away,
we're watching the floor right now to see when the vote on this is coming up.
Chris Knopp with the Friends of the Boundary Waters.
So we're kind of watching it minute by minute here.
Can't keep his eyes off Washington, D.C. Wednesday.
I think the weight of public opinion is also on the side of protecting the Boundary Waters.
The Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness stretches more than 1 million acres across northeastern Minnesota, connecting with Voyageurs National Park and across the border into Canada. But Knopp's focus stems from what's just outside the BWCA and the potential changes on the way.
In 2023, protections were put in place on 225,000 acres of public federal land adjacent to the Boundary Waters.
The Biden administration banned mining in that 250,000 acres 3 years ago. The land underneath is mineral rich with some of the largest deposits in the world.
Clerk will report the title of the joint resolution.
Representative Pete Stauber introduced a resolution to overturn that Biden-era ban, which was debated on the House floor Wednesday.
To reverse Public Land Order 7917, which enacted the Biden administration's dangerous mining ban in northern Minnesota.
A key focus is the Twin Metals Minnesota site, a subsidiary of Chilean mining giant Antofagasta. Stauber says overturning this ban would not greenlight any projects, but it would allow them to at least be considered.
This ban disregarded the science. It disregarded the facts. Lifting this ban will simply allow the science and the facts to prevail.
Representative Betty McCollum spoke against this, saying the runoff from any mine in this area will pollute the Boundary Waters.
Toxic sulfide or copper mining will contaminate the water, the habitat, and this priceless wilderness.
Environmental advocates say that runoff puts not just the BWCA, but Voyageurs and into Canada at risk as well.
When put all together, over 4.4 million acre continuous freshwater boreal ecosystem. It really does just fundamentally make immediately upstream of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness the absolute wrong place for this industry.
Stauber argues that land order made us more dependent on foreign nations, and overturning it would create jobs.
The Iron Range and building and construction trades all support this project. Good union jobs.
But environmental advocates like Knopp say there has to be another way.
What we need to do is have homegrown jobs here where we grow small businesses and support small businesses, not give a handout to a big Chilean company.
Ian Russell reporting there, did a good job. The Great Minnesota Get-Together is 217 days away. I can feel the heat now. But who wants to wait that long? Yesterday, State Fair announced their 6th annual kickoff to Summer at the Fair will happen Memorial Day weekend from May 21st through the 24th. That event features fair food and brews from nearly 50 vendors, more than 30 other Minnesota merchants, live entertainment, free parking, the whole thing. Ticket information will be released in late March. It may still be well below freezing outside. Yeah, it's really cold. It's well below freezing. But nothing gets Minnesotans ready for warmer weather than a little baseball talk. It's a new era for the Twins as they rebuild the roster and brought in new manager Derek Shelton. Julie Daniels got to sit down with Shelton to get an idea of what his plans are for this year.
How do you earn trust among players?
Communication. You have to be upfront with them. You have to have conversations, and you can't force it. It has to be organic.
How do you approach developing a young core? With you have these great leaders and these great veterans, but how do you approach a young core and still compete at the same time?
You have to seamlessly put those guys together. Byron Buxton and Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez. You have to blend those guys together, and the young players have to learn the modeling, good, bad, and indifferent, in terms of what they want to do, who they want to be, and then be able for myself or the coaching staff to have conversations to kind of guide them along the way.
You talked about bringing intensity and energy back to this organization. How does that show up daily for you?
Fundamentally playing good baseball. And I think that's a challenge in our sport today because guys are getting to the big leagues quicker and they're getting there without as much fundamental development as we've had in the past. And that's in totality throughout the game. But I think that is the main thing that we will focus on.
What do you want fans to immediately notice about a Derek Shelton-led team?
The energy that they're going to have, the way they're going to play the game. I think Twins fans, I know Twins fans have an expectation of how teams play here going back 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and I want them to be proud of our group of players.
Julia Daniels for you there. Hey, Minnesota's food scene getting some new recognition now. Several local chefs and restaurants are semi-finalists for the 2026 James Beard Awards. Mike Brown, Bob Gherkin, and James Winberg from Travail. Those guys are bananas, by the way. Watch KARE 11 Saturday if you want to see those two. They're from the Travail Collective. They're up for Outstanding Restaurateur. Ann Ahmed of Kaluna and Alex Roberts of Alma, all up for Outstanding Chef. Congratulations. And Bar La Grassa in North Loop, Minneapolis is up for Outstanding Restaurant. Love that place. We've had a full list of all the nominees on our website, KARE11.com. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.